Hi there. I'm taking part in the advocacy competition 2009, which I found in the Times on May the 7th, 2009. And the title in the paper article is How to Shatter the Class Ceiling, and the question of the essay is there a good reason why historically legal careers have been preserved for the privileged classes, and can this be changed? However, this privilege might be considered to be subjective. The question posed appears to be based on, is the class ceiling breakable, or is it there for good? The 2005 survey, basically called the Sutton Survey, appears to show that 2/3 of barristers at the top chambers have attended independent schools, as had 3/4 of judges. It is suggested that the background of people at the top of the legal profession has not changed, and this leaves room for allowing and encouraging those from other backgrounds. I have here a heading now called Snobbery or Bullying of Difference, referring to this sort of old boy network thing that often this bullying thing is associated with, and it's commonly known. The language of those trained at public school might be different to those who have attended and studied basic education at the standard state school. The public school trained individual is likely to have many advantages relating to quality of education, such as extensive knowledge of helpful subjects like history, social science and maths. Patricia Truitt at Birkbeck College suggests that the legal system standard to measure behaviour might be based on what is known as the reasonable man. Furthermore, it is also suggested that this reasonable man is more likely to be a white middle-class male. It appears that by ensuring a more mixed and justly proportioned system, this might in turn help defend and protect those at risk of bias against them due to class, sexuality, etc., and or social position. Those who are educated might well hold an arrogant or ignorant view of those with less education, or vice versa. You can see Alan Milburn for more information on that. Another heading, why has the class ceiling evolved? Whether it should be broken, and if so, how? Karl Marx referred to the ruling classes, i.e. hired help, rumour of available work, probably spread even abroad. Working for the rich may have placed the poorer worker in a second-class position compared to the employer. Furthermore, slavery reduced the image and self-confidence of many from the black shirt brown communities. The class ceiling might be broken by the government actively allowing all members from all communities to form the makeup of the government, so that would then filter down to the police and all the other agencies, but it would have to start with the government. Is there a moral argument that the legal system represents who it serves? If the legal system remains out of touch with persons with limited financial means, i.e. legal aid has been reduced, there has been a trend to buying properties, an expansion of middle classism, or any of the so-called minorities, the very high chance for injustice may continue. Harris suggests that this already occurs, and this flaw may need thorough attention to resolve. Judges in Britain might very well reflect Britain as a white country before the mass multicultural mixing since 1999. The legal system may need to accept that diversity is not just a word. Many cultures, as well as the so-called working class living in the UK, deserve to be represented to create a universal, international, fully diverse legal system. And why this hasn't happened already is quite unbelievable. Really, you could say that, we've had in this country since the 50s to sort these things out. It's well overdue. This should not be based on middle class values because of the leanings towards greed, collecting what seems, as much sort of materialism as possible seems to be the image of that section these days. So it should really reflect all of the cultures living in Britain today, and not just based on how much money somebody earns. This format may well contribute to breaking or dissipating the class ceiling based on fair and just values, and a more diverse value system based on working class and all the different people's attitudes about life. Not just having posh flats with expensive things, and that's the ideal for everyone. It doesn't make sense, and not everyone wants to live like that. This contrast The constant reinforcing of middle class values might be regarded as contributing or causing the class divide today. Harris seems to suggest that Britain has registered the courts, the police, the government as corporations, and that they trade as businesses for profit. This means that justice may be secondary. Harris seems to suggest that many people are seeking a return to natural and local law values, common law, rather than statutory law, or as he put it, revenue collection, which is quite disturbing and funny at the same time. The Training, Contract and Pupillage Handbook 2009, which prepares lawyers when they're ready to find work, and barristers, appears to incorporate popular culture interviewing methods akin to the television show Big Brother. It seems that some firms put prospective lawyers through what could be seen as pretentious regimes of group assessment. Page 37, paragraph 3. What about a good working knowledge of the law as the main skills required, as well as a natural and academic sense of fairness and natural justice? Those from poorer backgrounds might need support and encouragement rather than merely fiercely and pointlessly being tested, which is maybe more of an old schoolboy sort of system, maybe not appropriate to everybody, and maybe not everyone has that level of education as well. Moreover, potential lawyers might require aids if they have a disability. Further, it is suggested at page 37 that a firm may be interested in your experience, whatever that is. However, what if a potential employee's background was based on drug addiction or some other form of non-commercial behaviour? Maybe the legal system needs to come back down to earth and start all over again. I also added later on allowing lawyers or barristers to go into those roles just because they have an A-level or a degree in something else doesn't really seem to make sense. That somebody can become a lawyer just because they have a degree in something else, so they may as well become a lawyer. It seems to me that lawyers should be people that actually care about justice and rights, not just because they have a few A-levels elsewhere, so they top it up with a law degree. I think that system's completely wrong. Also, I think an open attitude to the legal system generally, in other words, being open to people from different classes who have maybe Cockney voices or different accents from different countries, a complete opening may break the class ceiling as well. Westminster, in a leaflet, refers to workshops of black Caribbean males who they state have achieved less in terms of education. This is quite widely known. So therefore, bursaries for very disadvantaged groups may also be very, very necessary from universities to support and help people from these groups. Thanks.